Calisthenics changed my life. When I was 13, I saw my brother doing push-ups in the living room, putting in the effort. As I saw him, there was simply a feeling within me, telling me to do what he was doing. That was my first introduction to calisthenics. Simply being exposed to something changed who I am today. Without his influence, I doubt I would be who I am now. I learned many things from calisthenics. I learned that I could be more than the perception I had of myself. We are what we do. Some wise guy said that, and you could imagine what is the perception of the smallest guy in the classroom. A kid that always avoids effort, that only seeks pleasure, that has no goals. And you know, when you are 13 years old, the mature consciousness starts arising within you. You aren't a kid in that sense anymore. You start worrying about things and realizing a few other things too. That you are vulnerable, weak, and that some people will put you down. The desire for strength is within every boy's heart. The desire of strength made me admire what my brother was doing in the living room. I really believe that simply doing push-ups in my room changed the trajectory of my life. I learned that my efforts lead to something. When you work for something, many times it seems hopeless and worthless. Nobody is there to cheer on you, not even yourself. But that's not true. When I did push-ups every day, I started noticing some results in my own body. My own effort materializing in front of my eyes. There was the proof of my hard work, and it felt great. I learned that there is a beast within me. And I know it sounds corny and very Sigma, but hear me out. We all have a desire for aggression, a capacity of violence, men and women alike, even children. When you see someone talking badly about other people, when somebody else insults you, when other people put you down, even your own rage about a few things. Those come from our capacity for aggression, to assert our own existence on others. That capacity of aggression is used for something good when you work out. As you work out, you transform it into something great. And after that, you are chilling. There is no need to act that way against other people. No reason to be unkind, mad, or bad against others. There are also a lot of things I learned from calisthenics, but without my brother influencing me, will I be here making this video after all I have learned from calisthenics? I learned all of this because I had a brother that did calisthenics. I was constantly exposed to a person working out. How many people don't experience this kind of thing because they are simply never exposed to people working out? Things have an influence on you whether you like it or not. Sure, you decide whether or not to partake in it, but you are more likely to eat a cake that is always in front of you. It applies to good and bad things. If your neighborhood is surrounded by drug addicts and maybe your life is not going well, maybe you will end up taking drugs and now you are a drug addict. Or maybe you're surrounded by criminals and now being bad and doing bad things is cool. Or maybe you're surrounded and exposed to gooners and now you're a gooner. What I like about calisthenics is that you don't need absolutely anything to start. It is always with you, wherever you go. It makes you free in a sense, not subjected to anything, unchained. This freedom of doing it whenever you can makes it so people are exposed to working out. People that will never be exposed to it. People that really need it. In the same way that a drug addict can harm a neighborhood, a calisthenic guy can inspire people and change culture. It may seem stupid, but simply working out and doing something impressive can motivate someone to start working out. And maybe that someone will become great someday. In the same way that simply watching my brother made me work out. Because in every boy's heart, there is a desire to be strong. So why calisthenics? Sure, it could be anything else that is physical like a martial art or lifting weights. The difference is that most other physical activities are secluded, isolated from the public. Impressive deadlifts only occur within a building, a gym. And in order to be in such an environment, you need to pay first. And at that point, you already are taking action. And this is the same for anything else, like boxing or a martial art. Nobody in the street or within a park will watch an impressive deadlift because nobody deadlifts or bench presses in a park. The people that could benefit from such activity will never be exposed to that, because they are simply not going to places where they are exposed to that. But calisthenics changed that. The freedom of doing it whenever you choose. The public is exposed to exercise and working out. I remember after a year of working out, I saw a guy doing handstand push-ups in the park, and for some reason, I never forgot that happened. It was the first time I saw something like that, and now I can do it. And you know, you don't need to do something impressive. Simply training hard can influence other people. And you know, maybe you could influence some young guy who is surrounded by criminals to put his energies into calisthenics, repping dips and pull-ups instead of doing crimes, using that aggressive energy for something good that needs effort, discipline, and focus. Or a guy that is lost in life, finding confidence in calisthenics. Or maybe a young guy that doesn't know what to do with his life can start doing calisthenics, learning the lessons you also have learned from it, improving his life, and discovering that he can become more than he already is. It doesn't matter the intention, the results are going to be the same. Even if you do it for what appears to be vanity, the same lessons can be found. Or even if your reason appears to be more virtuous. You don't need money to start, you don't need anything, only the desire and ambition to start. And you will always know that calisthenics is there for you. At the end, working out, doing calisthenics in the parks for yourself can inspire and influence other people, who otherwise will never encounter something that will spark the fire within them. Calisthenics can make the world a better place.